Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
There are many other characteristics that also gives a picture of low level of emotional intelligence. Say for example, like relentless striving. You are actually not interested to do something, but you keep on trying, you keep on doing it out of compulsion, which does not get any success. Why? Because working hard in a compulsive manner does not lead to any successful events or actions, because you do not display 100% commitment in that task. So, that is why even I have come across many students, they say, sir, last night I studied around 10 hours, but when morning I try to recover, I am not able to recover any one of them. What is happening to me? So, this is what you are not interested. So, it is a kind of, if a self motivation is required to do any kind of activity, motivation is first. So, that is why relentless striving, doing something out of compulsion will not make you succeed in your endeavor. That is why we call it as another weakness of EI people. Insatiable need for recognition and power. This is also another characteristics of a person who is weak in his emotional intelligence, because he does not care about others. You cannot, he wants to control others, he wants to exercise his power, authority and influence over others without realizing what could be the impact of others, what could be my acceptability over others. Being addicted to glory, tendency to blame others for own mistakes, all these kind of things coming up because of societal taboos. There are certain societies where people are hungry for power, people are hungry for images, people are hungry for honor. That is why in India, in many love marriages are ending in honor killings. Why? Only because of insatiable need for power, recognition, status, image in society. Even parents are not feeling hesitant to plot against their own kids who goes beyond the boundary line of their social social rules and regulations, societal rules and regulations. And most of the things are still happening in northern India, say for UP, Haryana, Bihar, all these are still dominated by this kind of things. Preoccupation with appearance, being overtly concerned about public images. A person who always try to focus on good public image artificially is also a sign of one's weakness. Actual image does not come from your physical appearance, it comes from your inner energy, inner abilities, qualities. Need to seem perfect, inability to tolerate failures. These are called people, that is why people often say have patience, do not be impatient. So, lack of patience will result in inability to tolerate failures. So, that is why it is also another characteristics of low EI people. But what is the characteristics of people, those who are high on their emotional intelligence? Very wonderful. I can sense the feeling of others. Looking at the face of your subordinates, as a leader you can understand what is undergoing in his mind. Looking at the face of your partner, you can understand whether your partner is happy or sorrow. That is the power of emotional understanding. There was earlier there was a serial coming on in Sony Entertainment Channel. I'm just forgetting the title of this thing. There are the hero heroines, they departs from the early periods of their life, and one goes to Dubai, another is in Mumbai. They have such a strong relationship. If one is under trouble, the other person staying far away can sense, yes, my partner is facing some troubles. So that there is we call in psychology as a telepathy. Something one partner is thinking or feeling is exactly happening, and the other partner even staying far away. So that is how I can see, I can sense the feelings of others. Although that is little bit irrational or illogical, people say that how is it possible? You cannot, heart cannot connect, two hearts cannot connect in isolation. It's just like a mobile connection between two phones. Two hearts are connecting with each others. But in real life situations, out of even a logical argument can be put together that if you understand a person as a team leader, if you understand your team members better, you can motivate them into actions. You can understand their sorrow, their happiness, their troubles, etc. So that is where people often say a person who is high on his or her emotional intelligence can understand others, can sense others' feelings. I get pleasure in challenges and I try to solve them. I get pleasure in challenges and solve them. So that's why we initially discussed the connection between emotion, intellect and emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligent people, they always want something new, something creative, but they easily get bored with stereotype of activities. That is why we say that emotional intelligent people, they seek challenges, they get pleasure in challenging jobs. I am quite sensitive to how relationship goes on. So that's why you often say in our everyday affairs, I used to ask in the class, how friendly you are. Some people say, sir, no, I don't like to create friendship. One boy stood up, sir, I have number of friends. Another boy said, sir, I have a few friends. There is one girl says, sir, I have only one friend, she is my best friend. See, you can categorize them on the basis of relationship. Number of friends. I have few friends. And one best friend. This all summarizes. I am quite sensitive. People, those who are sensitive to their relations, they hold longer and better relationship. They create best relationship out of it. So healthy relationship comes out of your best investment, and that requires a lot of sacrifices, care, concern, anything. How much you care about your relationship will decide, and that caring and sharing is nothing but your emotional exchange. We call it emotional intelligence, and these are two things coming out of it is sympathy and empathy. These are essential for human relations. First, you should develop sympathy, then you take forward putting your leg into others' shoe, what you call empathy. I can easily acquaintances and friends. You can create millions of friends, but it is very difficult to create healthy friends, long lasting friends. So in general, emotionally intelligent people are very friendly in nature, because their social quotient, their interpersonal quotient is higher than their counterparts who are low in their emotional understanding, because these people can better understand and value emotions in human life. And emotional understanding is the grassroots of any kind of interpersonal relations, and that is how it goes on. I point to the behavior, not to the man during critical comments. When people go for any kind of marriage negotiation, group of people from boys side, group of people from girl sides, they meet each other in each other's house, and the people actually, those who come with these boys, brides and bridegrooms, they have more comments than the bride and bridegrooms. No, the girl is good, but she is so taller than the boy. I don't think it will be a good match. What is wrong in that if somebody is taller or smaller? They will say, the boy is good, he is doing a great job in IT company IBM and earning around almost 1.5 lakhs per month. But what is the guarantee he will keep your daughter happy forever? People put lot of questions like this. The moment you look at not them as a total, what is their overall characteristics, but if you pinpoint their nose, their eyes, their lips, their hands, then you will start, the overall feature is okay, but there should have been a little bit more height. So, this is how, I point to the behavior, not to the man during critical comments. You look at what the person is doing, not his personal characteristics, then you will be in trouble. So, actually emotional intelligence people often say that no, so far he is reliable and tolerable, he can be, I think he is a good person. I do not want whether he is physically weak or psychological chronic, something. I know how to make a positive emotion last when I experience it. That is in fact the center of positive emotions. You must hold your happiness and make it use for your growth and development. So, actually in our day to day life, we do not value our happy moments. When you are happy, go with your friends, go for a round, go for a cup of tea, have some chit chat, exchange good thoughts. People often say, one professor, I was talking to him, he said actually we exchange more intellectual thoughts in our classroom than classroom. That's he was indicating that their culture is so westernized, even they don't mind to have a glass of beer or whiskey or whatever, and they sit together and discuss their all intellectual thoughts, and they discover a lot out of that. Our Modi highlighted chai pe charcha. What is that? That is just like that. To Western people, they highlight the importance of champagne, and on the champagne table they discuss all intellectual debates. In Eastern, we don't have concept of champagne, we have concept of tea. So, have a cup of tea and let us discuss and negotiate. So, that is how things goes on. And why we go for a cup of tea or a glass of champagne? That creates a positive feeling, courteous feeling and positive climate for any kind of discussion and deliberations. And that is where people often say that I know how to make a positive emotion last when I experience it. So, when you create good relationship, you can create good collaborations, whether it is in your academic affairs or corporate affairs or international affairs. And that is how India is doing right now. Meeting people are saying this Prime Minister is consuming a lot of public money, making travel tour here and there, moving tourist places, etc. No, you just look about India's international relations just few years back, it was almost zero. Even we are attacked by Bangladesh, that kind of relations we had. And now Modi has changed the entire face of our international relations within no time. I am not making it political, I am just highlighting the importance of international collaborations, and it comes out of our gestures, our dealings, our closeness, and that is where we share our emotions with others. Self awareness, knowing you how you feel in real time. When I ask you how are you, you should say no sir, I am not comfortable because the room is too cold. May I go right now out? No, but you feel no, if I go out my teacher will feel indecent, it will be an act of indecent. No, it is not like that. So, if you are hiding your own assessment or judgment about yourself, that is not accurate expression of self awareness. Emotional literacy, being able to label emotion precisely. Yes sir, I am fine sir, even if you are cold sir, I can, if I stay for some time, I can gain something. Empathy and compassion, the ability to feel and understand the emotions of others. You are coming to this a classroom, on the way you saw an accident happening, you said, oh my God, I am getting late, you rush at your class, but you feel, oh God, it should not have happened. I feel pity on these guys, they are very badly injured. But you went to your class, but there is another guy who was also coming to the same class, but he realized, no, the situation is severe, I should ensure at least first aid. He called the ambulance and sent them to the hospital. So, this is where you call putting your leg into other's shoe, it is none otherwise empathy. So, this sympathy and empathy are two biggest, two, not biggest, you can say the best quality in oneself, but empathy is little bit better than your sympathy, where you involve yourself to initiate positive actions. And compassion, compassion means completely devoting yourself to a particular actions, it's a fellow feeling, it's a love towards your work, like just like we say work is worship. Why work is equivalent with worship? Because when you worship something, you do certain act with full devotion, you give 100% out of your commitment. So, that is how we say empathy and compassion, these are two jewels of people, those who are emotionally intelligent. Another is balance, being able to take decision, strike a balance between emotion and reason. So, many times we compromise your own happiness only because of practicing reason and logic. We only think that bringing logic and reason to our deliberation and discussions will help us to take better decisions. No, it is not always correct. You must listen both to your head and heart. Many decisions are intuitive in nature. They may have little reason, but they have bigger implications. That is why you often say that dreamers are better achiever than non-dreamers, because they see the bigger aspect of the future than the short-term achievements based on logic and reason. So, that is why a person needs to maintain a balance between emotion and reason, so that your decisions are not much affected and your health is also restored properly, because 50% of emotional health is labeled to human health. Responsibility, taking primary responsibility for your own emotions and not saying that other made you feel the way you feel. I am sad not because of me, I am sad because of my friend. Why? No, he insulted me in front of others. And one side you were saying he is your friend, and the other side you are feeling insulted. Why? This is a miscalculation, misinterpretation between emotion and reason. Friendship is your emotional, but humiliation is reasoning. So, if you connect both, then you will find, no, my friend is, I should not take him at granted, he is my friend, okay, but in the classroom he is my teacher. So, that is why I always tell students, those who become extra friendly to me, I said them I am friendly, but not your friend. So, then you must strike a balance between what is friendly and what is a friend. Well, it is very difficult to measure human emotions. Like I always tell, can we measure emotions such like feelings, happiness, attitude, temperaments, etc., etc. Yes, although this appears to be very subjective in nature, but over the periods of scientific technologies, scientific knowledge, exploration, etc., psychologists have come up and with the different techniques to assess emotional intelligence. After going through all the gamut of the theories and measurement approaches of emotional intelligence and other available techniques in academics, I have grouped them under these categories, but mainly we can divide them under two categories. One is projective test, another is psychometric test. However, there are two more measures or measurement approach you can say. One is called projective inventory, which is neither psychometric nor projective in nature. Discourse analysis, although it is qualitative, it is different from projective test and psychometric test. So, projective tests are taken from the concept of projections, as we psychologists know, how people project their own temperament, sentiments, emotions, affects, traits indirectly they are not aware of. We will discuss one by one. One is called TAT, it is otherwise known as called thematic apperception test. So, it is otherwise known as also PT, picture perception test. A picture is shown to the candidate and we ask them to write a story that evolved around the picture. So, this picture consists of characters. Dominant characters may be hero, heroine, supporting actors, villains. It all evolves around as if what happens in a theater while watching a movie. So, I used to ask what constitutes a story, how to write a good story that will help us to analyze your behavior. So, a story should have always three important things: past, present and future. So, what is past, what is present and what is future? Because what is happening is in the present is due to your past. So, what led to the present is called past. What is happening is present. What will happen in future is called the future. So, that is why any story while watching a movie, they either start from the end or they start from the past. So, hero is struggling. Why he is struggling? Because he was tortured by the villain in the past. So, what will happen in future? In future, he will fight with the villain and he will take his revenge. The movie ends. That is how. But suppose the character is struggling a lot, but not able to come up with a solution. The character is going to deep chamber of depression without any action. We say the character is emotionally weak characters. But in Hindi film, in Bollywood Hindi film, the hero never gets suppressed by the villain, irrespective of all of his efforts, the hero wins. So, that is why all the heroes, though who lives till the end without any damage, they are called the successful characters with a lot of emotional, what we call survival ability. So, this is how we say how the character is surviving under difficult situations, how the character is coping with adverse situations. That is that shows the emotional maturity, survival ability resilience, optimism, what for he is living, coping capabilities, coping ability. So, these are certain characteristics that we want to assess through the picture perception test, or what we call thematic absorption test. Another example, this theory is based on Freudian theory or Morris theory, that emphasizes more on needs, desires, environmental influence and the defense mechanism. So, can there be any role of defense mechanism in evaluating a high EI people or low EI people? What kind of defense mechanism a person is displaying? A person, say is always displaying avoidance, withdrawal. This is unhealthy EI or low level of EI. A person always face the reality. That is why reality testing is one of the important characteristics. Sorry. Reality testing in Barron's theory of emotional intelligence is one of the important characteristics of EI. You have to face the reality with courage, conviction and reasoning and logic. One should not shy away from the situations. That is called sign of low level of EI. So, this is how EI can be assessed through thematic absorption test, but it requires a lot of expertise. Why? Because ordinary people cannot assess, cannot deal with thematic absorption test. You need to have a sound theoretical background of psychological assessment. You need to have the knowledge of Freudian theories of personality. You need to have practical experiences. So, then you can go for and clinical experiences also. So, lot of expertise is required. A common man cannot deal with TAT. We will come back again after this short break. Thank you.